today's episode of Flowers, I had a chance to sit down with Monique Latise, the real queen of comedy. Check it out. Everybody, on today's episode of Flowers, I am here with the lovely Monique Latise, the queen of comedy, the comedian that you need to see. Right, Mo?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do.
Definitely. I had to have you up here. You know, there's no way that I can do a show called Flowers and not give flowers to one of my favorite comedians that I actually watched growing up, you know. Super inspired by you. Very proud of you and the things that you have done. You know, to be the first black female comedian in our city, to open up your own comedy club, just, you know, represent. It's like I'm proud to say that I know you, you know, and coming from Paterson. And
yes.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
You know, but I wanted to bring you here because I wanted to share this platform with you so that people can know more about Monique the comedian.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that so much.
Of course.
Comedy is, I feel like we're so underrated. You know, it's all about the artists, especially coming from Paterson. We have so many dope musical artists and DJs coming from Paterson.
Right.
You know, but you don't really know of too many comedians like that's given a platform. So I wanted to be one of the ones that pull the city with laughter.
Right.
Like that was important to me. So I'm thankful that my city's behind me. Because I remember when I first got to comedy, and I was like, I want to travel the world, and someone said, nah, you gotta get your city behind you before you go out and try to capture the world. And at first I was like, cause you hear people say, nah, people in your hood not gonna show you support. Nobody in your hood gonna say how much they love you, and that ain't true. That ain't true. Paterson has been behind me 120%. When I opened up the comedy club, people was like, you crazy. Paterson not gonna support that. And I believe in my heart, and I'm sticking to it, that if it was not for the pandemic, I would still have my location. I'm still in business, but I would still have my location if it was not for the pandemic. I believe that the pandemic is what, and I believe that God just wanted me to help the city get through the pandemic. So he said, open up a club, you know, and it's not gonna be forever. And then I'm gonna push you to do other things.
Bigger things.
Yeah. So
because I remember I was there for the opening, and it was like, wow. I couldn't, well, let me not say I couldn't believe it, because you deserve, you know, the support that you received, and it was like,
I was shocked.
I was just, listen, I had chills the whole time I was down there because I was so excited for you.
Thank you.
I was so excited for you. I was like, wow.
600 people.
Great turnout. Seriously, and it's like, you need that type of support, but like I said, you deserve it, and you've been doing your thing for so long. I actually, I've known you for a while.
Long time.
I remember I've always been a silly kid, and I've always been really big on comedy, and just watching you and just listening to you, your spirit and everything was just always so dope. So, you know, now that I'm into comedy as an adult, and it's part of my career, you know, you were one of the first people that I reached out to.
Thank you.
And you took me in with like welcoming arms, you know, you told me the do's and the don'ts, and you've just been a big, you know, inspiration for me, and I appreciate that.
I knew it was your gift.
Yeah.
So when you know that someone is coming with their gift, you embrace them with open arms, because trust me, I get it all the time. I'm funny, I want to do comedy, put me on. And sometimes you be like, nah, bro, nah. But it takes more than to, you know, you gotta have a different kind of skin to do comedy.
Yeah, definitely. Right. So let's talk about when you step on that stage, because you know, doing stand, it's a difference between just being a comedian that actually playing movies or you know, just do little skits, but to actually get on that stage.
Man, listen, it's a whole different ball game. Is to get on stage, is that you gotta actually be a different person. You gotta, and it don't matter what you're going through,
Right.
Because if we're doing a video, we can do over and over, shoot over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, take that again. Nah, let's take that again.
Right.
But when you're doing live stand-up, you know, you could just, God is being dumped, death in the family, somebody try to kill you, like anything. Mm-hmm. And you still have a responsibility. People paying tickets and to come see you. Right. So you got to get on stage no matter what you're going through. And that's how you know that it's something that's a gift and not a talent. Okay. A talent, you can train yourself to do something.
Right.
You know, you can practice it over and over again. Take two, practice it over and over again. But when you're gifted, you do, and you like, how did I do that?
Right.
That's when you be like, ooh, I got chills just saying that. Mm-hmm. That's when it's a gift, because you're like, I don't know how we just made this number one, but it's number one. Right. And, you know, that's just what I feel in my heart. Like, I want to just, you know, I want to just let God lead. You know, it ain't, people say, like, were you funny in high school? I really wasn't. Mm-hmm. I'm never the silly girl. I always had a light heart. Mm-hmm. Always like to have a good time, make people feel good that's around me. But I know people that's way more sillier than me. Mm-hmm.
So, what made you want to take comedy to the next level? What made you really want to take this full on?
I'm going to be honest with you. I love that question, because I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I didn't want to do comedy. Mm-hmm. I was a music lover.
Okay.
I used to be a dancer in high school. I used to like to dance and battle people. I'm very competitive. Like, if I see a group of people dancing, you know, I would want to get in the circle and start dancing too. So I was always into, like, if I hear somebody rapping, even now, like, I love cyphers. If I hear somebody rapping, my old butt would be like, I'm next, I'm next.
Gonna jump in.
Right. So I've always been inspired by, like, groups and music. There's so many dope people from Paterson. Mm-hmm. Chanel Red, you know, you got a diva, so many Sybil from Paterson, and they inspired me. So I really wanted to be in music.
Okay.
Like, I wanted to be in music. And when I found out that I wasn't going to be in music, it broke my heart. Like, I was upset. Because I started having kids, life started happening, and I didn't really have anyone to really say, come on, let me put you in the studio with me, or you got a nice voice, or you're going to be my backup dancer. It wasn't like that type of situation for me. Mm-hmm. So I figured, you know, it just wasn't going to happen. Mm-hmm. And I just let it go. I let it go, and spent the rest of my 20 years kind of depressed, sad, crying all the time, because I felt like something was missing. Right. You know, even as a mother, something was missing. Mm-hmm. As a wife, something was missing. I was sad. Right. And then one day somebody came to me and said, yo, I'm doing an all-female comedy show, and I want to put you on. And I was like, why? Right. And they was like, cuz, you know how to talk. I was like, but why? And I was like, I don't want to do no comedy. I want to stand up in front of people and try to make people laugh. Like, I'm good, no thank you. And he was like, nah, you should try. And I was like, I'm going to talk to my pastor, because I was on the choir at the time. Mm-hmm. I said, I'm going to talk to my pastor. My pastor going to be like, nope, that's not of God, and that's going to be the end. Right. Talk to my pastor. Down Redmond, Faith Chapel, Church on Broadway in Paterson. He was like, yeah, you should.
Well, see?
And I was shocked. I think I was shocked for about 2 years, even after I started. I still couldn't believe I was doing it. Mm-hmm. Because it's not something that I want to grow up to be a comedian. Mm-hmm. No. I'd be lying to you if I said that's what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't that for me either. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that for me in the situations, you know.
Yeah.
But for you, I honestly thought it would have been different, because you're so passionate about it. I thought that it was something that you always
I think it's the arts, though. I think it's me, the love. Finally, I'm on stage. Let me tell you a quick story. I'll never forget, I was 14 years old. I was at the Hitchcock Stadium. Mm-hmm. It was Biz Markie, Eric B. and Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Salt and Pepper. And they were all on stage. They were giving this big concert, and I was always on punishment. Like, my mother always had me on punishment, so I could never go anywhere. This one particular time, I was able to get out the house. I'm walking around. I had a fly outfit on. I was never really the popular girl, mm-hmm. but always liked fashion. So I'm walking around, and Biz Markie on stage, Eric B. Rakim on stage, and I was like, yo, I'm up next. Now, mind you, I didn't know anybody who was putting on the show. Didn't know any of the producers, promoters, no DJs, nothing. But I just kept, I felt it. I was like, yo, they about to call my name. And I remember walking around the stadium like I was a star, speaking to people, like, yo, like, somebody got to ask me for my autograph. Do they recognize me? Like, for real. And nobody I was like just a blur. Nobody said hello or nothing, and I was like, yo, something wrong. So anyway, I remember that day. I knew that I belonged on stage, and I love that story because sometimes life is not what you think it's gonna be. You could have a whole plan, and I'm on stage now telling jokes. Who would have thought that, John?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's so crazy how similar our stories are because before I became a DJ, I was a dancer.
okay.
I was a dancer. Like I got into DJing because I always felt like I knew what the DJ should play next when I was in a party. And I would take over the dance floor. You couldn't tell me I wasn't going to be background dancing. Chris Brown, Mario.
I feel like I remember that now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Teen Summit, I was always head of the dance team. And then that once I got into DJing, I just got into music.
Right.
Then I was working for the state and I ended up hurting myself. And I was home. And this is when Instagram first started letting you do 15-second videos. And I would just get up there and mimic people like somebody from the church. My mother was the first character I ever portrayed, Johnson.
Okay.
And the type of attention I started getting from that just made me keep going because people would see me outside of social media and be like, yo, I'll be fucking off your videos.
Isn't that the best feeling ever?
It is. It did. Next thing you know, La Mecca came about.
We love La Mecca.
You know, that's when I started the Ratchet Girl situation. And I'm like, I gotta give this girl a name.
Right.
And I came up with La Mecca and the rest is history.
Wow.
So I really didn't think that comedy would be a part of my journey either.
Yeah.
You know, like seriously. So, like you said, you never know what God has in store for you.
Really.
But I'm happy that you stuck with it because you not only do you capture everyone with laughter, you represent women to the fullest, and I love that. Like I know so many. My mom is actually, you know, silly.
She's funny.
Really fun.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know you because of her.
Right.
You know what I mean? You were one of the comedians that she always spoke about. So that made me pay more attention to you.
Yeah.
So Mo.
She actually gave me a lot of tips when I first started doing comedy.
Yeah?
Yeah. She taught me, actually your mom, she gave me some good tips on networking because to be honest with you, it's not really always about the talent.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to be able to know how to run your mouth. You know, and I'm kind of laid back when it comes to like a group of people. I'm not the one unless it's a competitive type thing. But just to walk up to people and just be like, what you doing? Who you work for? BET, Def Comedy Jam? I'm not that person. I'm more laid back.
Right.
But I remember when I was going to New Orleans for Essence Fest, your mom was like, yo, bring your business cards, network, walk up to people, tell them you're a comedian. I'm like, well, why would I do that? And she was like, you gotta let people, you are your own promoter. And if you know me, you know I go hard on the promotion.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a manager, I don't have a PR person, I don't have a stylist. I do 5 shows a week and I book them on my own. I style myself, I keep all of my bookings. Somebody cash out me now for a show. I do my own promotion. And to be honest with you, that's to a fault really because you need a team.
Yeah.
You need a team.
Team is definitely good for you. But it will come. It's gonna come. You don't want the wrong people though. You know, everything is about timing. God definitely have something in store for you. You know what I mean? Your time is that it's here.
I feel it too.
Listen, you have it. You have it. You got the people behind you. You got the city behind you. There's a lot of people that's actually really paying attention to you. So that big stage is there for you.
I believe so.
For sure. That's why I had to bring you on the show.
Thank you.
Because I wanted to give you your flowers that you deserve personally from me. And I wanted to share this platform with you because you definitely deserve it.
This means a lot to me. It really does. It does. And I'm so grateful for this because sometimes we don't express ourselves and we wait until people pass to let them know that you inspired me, you motivated me, you encouraged me. And you to do this, I haven't seen this done. I don't know any other show, any platform where this is done. So I'm grateful. I had to be here.
Yeah, man. I just felt like I said before, I felt like this is needed because, like you said, the people need to smell their roses and flowers while they're here. Let's not wait until they go.
And I was gonna buy me some flowers today, and I don't even have to.
Right here.
Beautiful, thank you.
Here for you.
Thank you.
So, you know what, I appreciate you coming. And on behalf of F.L.O.U.R.S, me and my team, we want to give you your flowers because you totally deserve them. Definitely appreciate you coming out, sitting down with us today.
Thank you. Let me smell my roses.
Smell them, right?
Oh, this is so beautiful. Yep. Thank you.
Listen, man, we're gonna have you again, for sure.
Thank you.
We're gonna be talking about your tour, your big tour.
I will
next
love that.
time.
I will love that. Speaking into the atmosphere.
No, it's coming. It's coming for sure. All right, y'all. So you already know it's DJ Payday. We got Monique Latise in the building. F.L.O.U.R.S. Season 1. We'll see y'all soon.
Thank you.